Hello, today we are going to see about using the browser extension MOC Source. It is a Chrome-based browser extension to help you source your MOCs. So one of the first things it does is if you go to a part page on Pick-a-Brick, it shows you what the price is for a part on Pick-a-Brick. So if you click on this, it'll open the LEGO store and show you the part, which is useful. If you're browsing in a store, it goes through and shows you what the price is on Pick-a-Brick on the store if it has that item. You can also click on this and open the part in Pick-a-Brick if you want. But like if it did just that, it would, that'd be cool. But let's say we want to source a MOC. So I'm choosing a popular BrickLink Designer Program one because it can cost $450 used if you want to go and get it. So we're going to part this out and see about finding the pieces that we want, see what's going on. So these wanted lists, I like to name it after the set. And we remove the gear and we set the various part out into individual parts because the individual minifigs can get a little bit more expensive. And the gear is just in an instruction sheet. So we're going to submit this for edit. And we're going to go down to the bottom and add this to our one list. We are going to exclude the sticker sheet because it's the LEGO logos and they can get expensive. So normally if you're buying this just from BrickLink, you'd need to go through and hit the Buy All. So one thing you noticed is that the page size for your one list is not 100 items or 25. We've brought up all 455 on one page, and that is changed through the browser extension. It also shows you the Pick-a-Brick price, and you can open that in the Pick-a-Brick as well. So if we want to have decent prices for things, go to repeatable stores. Generally, you want to do is currently for sale average price, and then because that usually is a little bit too low, getting everything is increase the price by about 30%. It gives us some pretty competitive prices still, but still weeds out the super high, like crazy prices on things. So let's go through and try and buy 455 parts. So we notice here, it automatically went to the store location in the United States and clicked lots over max price. It's something that this has done as well because it's something I'm always clicking when I'm doing on here. So BrickLink will go through here and sometimes it messes up with the location. If we just switch it back to USA, that'll be okay. I might turn that off just because it's how finicky it is. So we have this. We see we got a bunch of things. We're going to go through. We're going to let it auto select and find us some parts. And so basically BrickLink's really good about finding all the parts for your MOC for buying it at the BrickLink prices, especially when you set that max price. So we let it do its thing naturally to finding some decent deals at a few stores. Okay, so we see that it's created us, instead it would be 5 stores, it would be about $208, and we're going to create these carts. Okay, so now we've created carts. What do we do from here? Okay, so if you go to a store itself, you'll see here, it's loaded up your one list. It shows you what the Pick-a-Brick price is in your shopping cart. So what you can do is you can save this to MOC Source. And that saves the cart into the MOC Source. And because I forgot about it, you can also go to your one list, go on there, and save that to MOC Source. So now you have your one list and a store in the list. We also have a thing called the Lego cart, and that will come up in a little bit. So we've saved the store to the cart. Let's go on to another one. So we have the Brick Lady, and sometimes she'll have some things, but we're going to go through and check some things out of another feature. Okay, if you bring up your one list in the store, I'll show you all the parts, but it's usually pretty annoying to figure out and fill in and see, and you've already selected a bunch of the parts. And I'll go through and you'll have used and new. Now this one has used and new in new quantities, but there's a new button here from the extension, and Jason says fill wanted quantities. And it'll fill in the wanted list, probably everything you want on it, and you can add these parts to your cart. And because of limitations, you have to go to each page and do that. And we fill in wanted quantities as well. And there's an error. They want you to buy 50 of these things, and we don't want to have to buy 50 of these things. So I'm adding it to cart. I think I forgot to do it on the second one, and so we are going to add those to the cart. And now we have $54 worth of stuff with shipping, and they're charging a bit. We're going to save this to MOC Source as well. I'm going to save this to MOC Source. So we have that in here, and I'm going to go back here to the carts because I want to keep a number in mind. If you buy everything from BrickLink, it'd be about $276. And that's with one store where you don't know what the shipping is. We have everything loaded into MOC Source. And we're going to go to projects. That is this folder here. We're going to have a new project. We'll call it the Modular Lego Store. Okay. And in here, you need to configure it. We have our wanted list pool. We have the carts that we want to use. And we have the Lego cart. So now it loads up every single one of the stores, our list. It says all the parts are allocated for, and it's showing that, hey, the pick-a-brick price is a little bit much on a bunch of these things. So we go up here to auto-allocate. It says, hey, prices were cheaper over here in pick-a-brick, and about $51 worth of stuff on BrickLink. And it also probably went through and found out that there were cheaper stuff maybe at the Brick Lady and allocated there. So if we look here, the total on her cart is $36.08. But yeah, so let's go through here. We're saving, we don't know what the shipping is, but we're saving about $22 from Pick-a-Brick. Pretty good. Over here, shipping is $13. We're saving $24.42. But Exploding Brick Store, that's $4.80, but it has a torso that we want. And the Woodward bricks, we're saving about $56.57. And then you Brick Me Up, it looks like it has 2 BrickLink parts, but we're paying for more in shipping. So you can just remove these parts from here, but if you go up to configure and say, hey, let's not use You Brick Me Up, and it's going to say, hey, you have all these parts now on an account allocated for. You hit auto allocate and it re-puts things in. Some of these parts were available at that Brick Lady. That's why we overloaded the list. You can do that with every single store, but it takes a little bit to remove. So, yeah. So I'm going to use this as an example. So you hit the save cart and it tells you what it's removed from your cart. And we go to that Brick Lady, we'll save cart, and what we removed from the cart. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to that Brick Lady where we were spending $54 before. And now we can update this cart because it's costing a bunch. So we're going to go and hit update cart from MOC Source, and it'll go through and remove everything that we had added extra. So this is going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to pause this and we'll come back when it's done. Okay, so we're back. It's updated the cart. We're going to save it back to MOC Source. I'm going to double check things. Go to the LEGO store. Because there was an issue with the cart. It came up with that. We didn't see that. So we're going to update that cart. Go back here. Let's refresh the page. And update cart from MOC Source. And apply all the changes. Okay. So, I'm going to save this back to MOC Source. And there we go. So that's how you would go through and you would update and see about, like, here's all the parts. But, like, now that we have it, we have stuff in Pick-a-Brick. We've saved it to our store carts. What do we do from there? Well, you can save this cart to the LEGO Modular Store list that I set up before. And it's going to add a bunch of these parts. And so it's about $59.40. So you go back in here to your LEGO store. And it loads in and tells you, hey, you have this list. And this is off, and I'm going to try to figure this out. But go through and transfer all of it. And we'll transfer all to Pick-a-Brick. From 0 to adding 97. So now we've added all these pieces to Pick-a-Brick. Everything that we need. Great. You know, one little torso that we needed. It was on Pick-a-Brick. So, let's say you already have a LEGO cart. You've been saving up. You've been putting things in that you want. If you want to save for later, maybe making a wanted list. Or you can save this to MOC Source. And then, we go back here to the list. And it saved it as a brand new part. Now, if we have this as a wanted list and everything in LEGO, but we want to make this into BrickLink, we can create a new list. We're just going to call it by the name. And it's added that the LEGO cart to a wanted list. No exporting, no messing with stuff, no futzing. It goes in through here. So remember before we said it was going to cost about $276 to price this. Is that what we're showing now is the 276 number was a bit high. We have the one store here still where it's not showing shipping. We're showing about total. It's about $220 for, let's say, $221 plus shipping, so $6. If we want to estimate shipping in here, let's say $7. It's going to cost about $227, roughly about $48 cheaper than before. Just doing the straight buy all. So, hopefully, this will save you guys money. As I said, is you can go through and that bricklet, like I did with that brick lady, you can overload these carts and put every single part in here and have it go through and do things. It just does take some time to remove the pieces because of limitations with the BrickLink GUI. But in terms of like being confident you're buying stuff at the best price, you can play around with it. Load up that wanted list from the cart store that you really like, you think has good prices. Compare it. Basically take your cart that you're buying at some store that you've already set up and just load it into here, and you can see if the prices are cheaper on Pick-a-Brick and split it out. Okay, so this is save, as we said, it'll save you about $50 of buying that set from basically a straight up buy all from BrickLink. From LEGO Pick-a-Brick, you'd be spending $110 more doing as much as you can from Pick-a-Brick. So either way, if you were mainly buying for Pick-a-Brick before, if you're buying from mainly BrickLink before, because hassle to split everything up, this should save you money, or at least gives you insight of what you're spending money on. Um, Hopefully, you like the extension. I've set up a Patreon and also set up links for Buy Me a Coffee on PayPal. So if you want to support, give back a little bit. I do have a server set up to correlate a lot of this information and development. If you want to see some feature, you can ping me and let me know. And yeah, we will hopefully save everyone some money and happy building.